Hello, welcome everyone to question number 10. Maximum of all subarrays of size k from the topic stacks and queues in Geek for Geeks must do coding interview questions. Have a quick look at the question and we'll be discussing the approach and meaning behind it. Before that, if you have any doubt, just leave a comment down below. And if you have any extra email IDs, please do subscribe and support our channel. Now coming to the meaning of the question. Now we here have an array and it contains 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6 elements. Now the question is saying whatever elements are there inside the array. Okay, for example 1 2 3 is there, right? So we have to make k size sub arrays inside the given array, and from those k set we have to take the maximum element. So let us write down the sets here. So first set will be 1 2 3. Okay, next set will be 2 3 1, and so on. I will be writing all the sets. Okay, now if you can see the length of this sub array, and it is of the length of k, so k was given as 3, so we have divided it in the three parts. In a continuous manner, the box of three elements will be moving forward till the end of the array. First will be 1 2 3, then the box will move to the 2 3 1. So while moving one by one in the size k, we had to take the maximum element from that list, and the maximum element from 1 to 3 is 3. Similarly, here in 2 3 1 we have 3, from 3 1 4 we have 4, from 1 4 5 we have 5, and then so on we have similar elements. So this is the output of the element that we have to return as the list here. So how can we return that as an output? Okay, now we have understood what we are going to return. That will the maximum element inside the k size window, and we have to move that window one by one. So the approach we're going to use is the queue approach. Okay, in queue approach what we're going to do is, okay, in queue approach we're going to insert elements one by one. While inserting, we are giving one condition, that if it crosses k length, whatever index is there, if that crosses k length or it is equal to k. Suppose I am at 3 position here. Okay, and now at this 3 position, if we count the index, we have 0 1 2. Okay, so length is 3 here till this point, index is 2. If length is equal to 3, then k equal to 3 is also satisfied. That means one window is complete till this part. So what we are going to do is we will store the maximum element inside the queue till that part. Okay, and that maximum element will be for first box we will seeing. Okay, now we are going to enter. Okay, we are going to enter that into a queue. We will enter 1. Okay, now next element is 2. Now since the next element is the maximum element, we will remove the previous element. So now 1 will no longer will there, and 2 is there. Now again next element is 3. Okay, but we don't want 2 now in the next sequence. Now since the next element is 3, which is greater than the previous element, and we are going to keep 3 as the maximum element. Okay, after maximum element you can enter as many small elements you want, but it also has condition. So whatever elements are entering, that should always be in the range of k window box only. It cannot cross the k window box. If it crosses a k window box, then we will also delete the left side element in that case. Okay, you will understand it more while I will be explaining the code. For now, you can see we have entered 3. Now till this part 3 length is cleared. Okay, now we have 3 length till this part on k value also matches. So from now on, whatever element is present at the leftmost side we're going to enter. That will be 3 is there. Now again 1 has come here. Okay, no, okay, we will write it separately. This will be our result here. Your first result will be 3 as it was equal to k. Okay, so whatever element will come, it will automatically form a new box, right? For 1 2 3 one box is there, for 2 3 1 will be one more box. So whenever the starting adding value of the elements is equal to the k length, from then onwards we will add the maximum element to the result. So 3 is there in this. After that we have 1 here. So we will not enter directly 1 here. We will enter that into a queue first. 3 is there. Now 1 is also there. Okay, now after that we are going to enter the max element from here onward, from this point onwards, wherever k value has matched the length of the element. From that point onwards we will always enter the maximum element. Now again another 3 will be entered. Okay, 3 1 has been finished. Now coming to the 4. 4 is max. Okay, 4 is max than 1. So one element will be removed. Then 3 element will also be removed. Then four element will be appended. Now 3 and 1 are not there inside the queue. 4 is the only element that is inside the queue. Now after entering the maximum element, which is 4, now we will enter 4. Okay. In this similar manner, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6 will be our output. If we haven't understood, no problem. We will be explaining it once again with the help of code, taking a dry run approach. Okay. Now let's start with the code. Now let us start with our dry run approach here. We're going to take the number of steps that we're going to follow. So for that, we have to remember the index values. This will be 0th index, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Total we have 8 indexes. So how many times it will run? It will run 9 times. Okay. Let's start with 0th run here. That will be our first index. At that 0th index, we have values such as we will be having result variable to store the maximum element value, and this result variable will only append when k value reaches when equal to the array length. Okay, only then result value will be added. Till that, result will be empty. Now other side we will have the queue. Okay, queue, we have taken empty queue to start, but when 0th turn will be started, we'll have result as empty. And now dq, let us start with the coding part here, and you can see here dq equal to dq. Now we are going to run a for loop. Okay, we are running for loop and we are checking if it has anything inside the dq. Okay, so this condition doesn't satisfy. At the start we don't have anything inside the dq. Then we're going to append the first element. First element will be 1 here, and we are appending only the index value, not the element here. Okay, let's start with the index value now. First index will be 0. Now 0 is inside the queue. Next, if I is greater or equal to k minus 1, what this is doing is it is ensuring that only when the length of the index matches with the length of the key, then only it will append the starting element inside the queue. I told that the starting element inside the queue is always a maximum element. Okay. Now the first run, 0th is over. Now coming to the first, result will be again empty. Now dq here, we have appended 0th index here. Now let's take the while loop. Dq is satisfied and dq0 is the index value. Index value is 0. So is 0 smaller than 1 minus k? 1 minus k is 1 minus 3 minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. Of course, minus 1 is not greater than 0. So this condition is false. Coming to the second condition, the current array. Okay, the current array we have index, we are at index 1 now. So in index 1, we're saying index 1 element, if it is greater than the last element inside the dq. Okay, the last element in this dq is 0th index only. So 0th index value is 1. Okay, the current element 2 is greater than 1. Yes, it is. So it is going to pop the element. Now 0 will no longer be there. 0 is popped now. After that, 2 will be entered. Remember, 2 is element. We will enter the index number here. Okay, now 1 index is there because 0 is popped and 1 is appended. Okay, I will be writing pop and append in the short form from the next turn. So coming to the second turn. Okay, and this will be the turn where we can enter the result value. Okay, now let us follow the for loop here. The for loop will be the second index this time. Okay, in the second index, it will check if it has anything inside dq. Yes, there is something. It will also check dq's index. The index is 1. Is 1 smaller than 2 minus 3, which will be minus 1 plus 1, 0. So 1 is not smaller than 0. So the condition is false. Will be going to the second while loop. It will be checking is the current index value is greater than the dq value. Okay, dq q value greater or equal. So since the value is 3, 3 is greater than 2, so we will pop the 2 element here. Not 2 index is there. Okay, I won't be writing popped and append. I will be just explaining and I hope you will understand that. Okay, now result. The result will have changes from this point. Okay, since the length of the index and length of the k value matches, I is 2, k minus 1 is 2, it is equal. So from this point on, we will take the maximum element value from the dq. We have index number 2 here. Index number 2 has a value 3. So 3 value will be added to our result. Now coming to the third iteration. In the third iteration, we will be checking the same. Is dq empty? No. Okay. Is dq 0? dq0 is the starting index 2 is 2 smaller than I minus k. I minus k is 3 minus 3, 0 plus 1, which is 1. Is 2 smaller than 1? No, it is not. Condition doesn't satisfy. We'll be going to the next condition, and here we will say the current index value. So we are at this point now. The current index value is 1. Is 1 greater than equal to the last element index value? Is it greater than 3? No, it is not. So we will not pop any elements here. So we are going to only add the index value here. So the new index value is 2 and 1. So we will have 2, 1 inside the DQ, and result will be the maximum element value. So the starting element, that will be 3. So now we have two threes at this point. Now so coming to the fourth iteration here, inside the fourth iteration, again do the same thing. In the fourth iteration, we have value 4. The first condition won't satisfy here anyways. If you want to check, you can check. So the second condition says DQ is not empty. Fine. Array I. Array is 4. Fourth index value is also 4. Is 4 greater than equal to the last element? Yes. So it will repeat 2 times. It is greater than 1 and it is greater than 3 also. So we will pop 2 and 1 in this case, and we will enter the fourth index inside the DQ. And inside the result also, we'll take the maximum element value at this point. That will be 4. Okay. Now coming to the fifth iteration here. Inside this fifth iteration again, we are going to check the first statement here. The first statement will be false anyway. So in the second statement, we're going to check array I. Array is 5 here. Okay, we're at this point now. Is 5 greater than the previous value? Yes, it is greater. So we're going to remove this 4 and we will insert the fifth index here. Fifth index is there at this point. Now the maximum element value is 5 here. So we will have 3, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. Now coming to the sixth iteration. Inside the sixth iteration, we will do the same thing here. The first condition won't satisfy here anyway. Coming to the second condition, the sixth index value, which is 2, is 2 greater than the previous value? No, it is not. So we will not be popping that element. So 5 and index value 6 will be there here. Okay. The max element at this point is 5 only. Okay. Now this will be our value. Now coming to the seventh iteration here. Inside the seventh iteration, we have 3 value. Okay. Let's check the first condition. Here we have to check 7 minus 3, 4. Okay. 4 plus 1 is 5 here. And DQ0. Okay. DQ0 is also 5. So this condition doesn't satisfy. So we will come to the next condition here. If array I greater than the previous element, here sixth index we have 2 value. So 3 is greater than 2. Fine. Then we will remove this sixth index and we will enter the seventh index here. 5 and 7 will be there at this point. We will have elements 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5 here. Okay. And the final iteration, eighth one. Okay, in this eighth one we have values. Now let us check the first condition. It's dq0. dq0 is 5 here and the current index is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Is 5 smaller than 6? Yes, it is. So what this loop is doing is it is ensuring that it doesn't go outside the range of k. Okay, now if you see this 6 carefully, if you draw a window of 3, so 2, 3, 6 is the only window there. Of course 5 won't be there inside. So this is what that condition is ensuring, that the element whichever comes, that shouldn't go outside the window. If it goes outside the windows, they will pop the maximum element at that time. Okay, now we're going to pop 5 here. After popping 5, we will be having 7 at this point. Okay, we will be having 7 at this point, and also we have to check other condition also. So the next index will come, that will automatically won't be satisfied. So coming to the second value, array I. Array I is 6 here. Is 6 greater than equal to the previous index element? Yes, it is. So 7 also won't be there inside. So only the 8th index will be there at the final value. So the final list we're going to have will be 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5 and 6. So this will be our output for this question. I hope everyone has understood this question. If you haven't understood, you can leave a comment down below and we'll be very quick to respond to it. And also don't forget to subscribe our channel. That will be very helpful for us. Okay, thank you for watching till then. Let's meet in another question.